greetings, and welcome to yet another. Girl, who don't you know? It is Marilyn Green. Yes, you know me. I am the THEE hostess with the mostest. And I need you guys to do me a favor. Come on, help a sister out here. Come on, subscribe, like, set that notification bell because, hey, the guest I got today is plenty of more, plenty others coming that are just as amazing as he is. And as you guys know, I don't have a lot of men on here at all. I normally have women. But this subject right here is known mainly to affect women and their family and all that. But this guest today is going to be talking about a subject we know, but we don't know when it comes to a male perspective on it. So, without further ado, I'm going to let Mr. Tim Kennedy come on. Tim Canada, oh Canada, Tim Canada. How are you today?
I'm great, Marilyn. I can't complain.
Please, please, if you do, people gonna listen and just spread your business. So just know that. All right. So yeah, welcome to Girl Who Don't You Know? And we're gonna be talking about your life. And in your life, I want to make sure that other people understand and so they can live really well. Okay. So Tim, tell me this. I know that you are a 13-year survivor of breast cancer. Tell us, how did that start? I mean, what's going on with that? So talk about your journey.
Okay, well, let me just preface all of this by saying that the first time I even heard about breast cancer in men, I actually saw an interview on TV with Richard Roundtree. You all know him as John Chef.
Yeah.
Uh,
Talking about chef, and we
and,
can dig it. Okay, we can
yep,
dig it. Go
yeah,
on.
so he was diagnosed with it, and so that was the very first time I ever heard about uh, male breast cancer. So let's fast forward to 2012. That's where I come in. I actually discovered a lump on my chest on the right side, and initially I thought it might have been just a bug bite or something of that nature, and so I sort of dismissed it for a few months. And um, when I circled back around to it, I'm in the shower and I'm like, this bug bite or this lump is it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was telling my wife about it, and she said, "Well, you probably ought to go to the doctor and get that checked out." And in my opinion, most of us guys, we're hard headed about going to the doctor. We're bad about that,
Yeah. Talk about that right there. Right there. Go
right?
for it.
Yes,
I was like,
ma'am.
I can handle this. I can handle this. Okay, go
Right,
ahead.
right. So anyway, I go to the doctor. He does an exam, and he orders a biopsy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the biopsy came back as cancer, non metastatic, I'll say, because it hadn't
Okay.
spread. Um, so then by this time, I'm out of town when I got the results, and
No.
yeah, so it needless to say, it hit me like a ton of bricks, right? And I my initial response was, okay, this is it.
Mm.
And I got angry about it. I had a good cry about it. And then I decided, you know what? I'm not going to just lay down and roll over and let this thing take me. So I get back from my trip, and they already had me scheduled for surgery. 2 days after I returned, I went into surgery, and doctor performed a mastectomy, uh, much in the same way they would do it with the woman. Of course, men don't have the amount of breast tissue that women would have, but the procedure was pretty much the same. and I followed that up with 4 chemo treatments.
Ooh,
So it was a heavy dose of chemo every 3 weeks.
wow.
Um, let's see. Um, Very long road to recovery. A lot of good days, a lot of bad days. Um, as far as my support system, my wife, of course, my daughter, uh, some other friends and family, some of those of whom also went through a battle with breast cancer.
Okay. So let
So
me ask you this, Tim. Is breast cancer in your family?
no, it is
Really?
not. It is not.
Oh,
So getting to that, I will tell you this. I actually have a brother that was diagnosed probably about 2 years after me.
oh,
Um, the common denominator between the two of us um, is the fact that we were both in the military.
oh, okay.
So um, the speculation is it's something related to that.
Okay, okay. I hear that. I hear that. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of Okay. So you got the surgery, you did the chemo. I don't love, but I for real men, y'all do cry. Okay? I love the fact that you got that cry. Was it probably was an ugly cry too, right? One of them ugly cries that
I
you
did, I did, and believe it or not, I still do. It was something about going through the chemo process, and it's something that sticks with you. And I don't know the rhyme or reason behind it, but um, at any given time, I can have one of those moments where I'll shed a tear, and I don't know where it's coming from, why it's coming. I don't know. It just happens.
Right, right. But it's okay. I mean, it's
Yeah.
really okay to
Hmm.
to 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 um to shed those tears and to cry. You know, men are some else, okay? And y'all just a little bit some else to me because you be trying to be what they call or whatever you grew up in. Real men don't cry. But why you got tears then? Okay, why you have that mechanism of tears? If
Right.
real men don't cry, it don't even make sense. Okay,
Hmm.
but you cried about it. All right, and yeah, and so that chemo, what you said, four,
Yes, ma'am. For
and then
treatment.
and after you did the four, what happened?
Um. So after the 4 treatments, it was basically trying to get myself back to a state where I could function and move around and just be
Okay,
able to, do things for myself.
okay, let's talk about that. Not being able to do things but for yourself. Okay, and I know you're a veteran as well. Okay, I'm gonna throw that in there. Okay, real men, real men. Okay, how did that make you feel? I mean,
It's a humbling experience. If you've never been in a position where you're always able to do things for yourself, and all of a sudden you go to this situation, um, it's very humbling.
okay, okay. It humbled you. How? Let's go there. I'm getting it all out. I'm getting all the juice out of this. Come on. I'm getting the
Well,
juice out of
I
this. How
mean,
did it humble you?
I mean, simply, you just sort of realize the things that you may take for granted, like just taking a simple walk to the restaurant,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
just being able to get up out of bed and do it with no effort.
Right. Wow. Wow. So did you feel like you became a burden sometimes? Did you go through a state of depression? What happened to you for real? Come on, we
Um,
getting all this. We getting all this. I'm gonna get it all. Okay, go
I
for it.
The depression, yeah, I dealt with that. I never felt like a burden.
Okay.
Um, I've got a daughter and a grandson, and uh, that's where my energy came from to actually fight.
Okay, that's good. Now that's a good one. Where did you get the strength to fight? And you just told us. I was gonna get you. I was getting you with that too. Okay, just wanting to live,
Hmm.
wanting to see your legacy, right? And being. It's just a. It's just different for men. I'm just sorry. It's just different for men. Period. Okay. Don't get me wrong. I ain't a male basher. I'm not. I'm
Right,
just saying.
right.
I'm just saying that men want to take care of themselves. Real men do.
Yeah,
They want to be the person that's always there for others. A real man does. All right. So it's interesting. That's why I'm asking you about your mental state. You
hmm,
know, the depression that came. I know it did. I know it did.
it
So
absolutely.
I know it had to come. But what did you do to combat that? Okay. Did you cry again? I hope you say that. Go ahead. Did you cry
No, I
again?
didn't. I mean, don't get me wrong. I had my days for that. I have a friend whose mom went through a bout with breast cancer, and what she did was that she kept a record of her journey. So
Oh.
I thought, that's a great idea. So I did the same thing because it's really uh, it was a type of therapy for me.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. So you
So
recorded.
it
So
didn't matter. Yeah, it didn't matter, how small the thought was or what was going on. I wrote it
I got you. So are you saying that we should be looking forward to a book?
down. You know what? I don't know. I won't rule it out.
Okay. I mean, hey, y'all heard it here first, right?
It's
And if
possible.
you do, you come back to me first. Okay? Come back to me
Absolutely.
first. You promise. Come on my show and talk about your journey because this is different for me.
Hmm.
Okay. So, did you find that when you were going through this, did you find there were a lot of resources out there or none for men with
Um,
breast cancers?
well, strangely enough, there were resources out there, support groups.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my oncologist actually referred me to several support groups, and then there's going through this whole process, I started discovering other support groups online and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
and just making those connections in St. Louis with others that have gone through similar journey. And so, I mean, it even put me in position to be able to speak about it. Um, I actually did interviews on a couple of media outlets in St. Louis,
Mm-hmm.
so
Okay.
I got to tell my story.
Yeah. I think that's good. Now, let me ask this question. I don't know. You got on a hat, so I don't know if you had hair when you started that chemo or not.
I did. I did. So to answer your question, it's gone. It's trying to make a comeback, but I don't think it's gonna
Okay,
happen.
so your hair came out like the ladies
Most
would say,
people.
right?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. But let's talk about this. This is just a discussion. Okay. I guess it has to do with your age. If your hair come out if you're 20 versus hair coming out when you're 50 or whatever. Okay. I don't know your age, but how did that affect you?
Uh, to be honest, it really didn't affect me that much because I'm not vain that way. So it didn't bother me at all.
You say I just want to live.
That's it. That was my main focus, and I just had to get in my head that okay, now you're not gonna have that. But what else? There's a lot of sexy guys out there without
That's right. Come on, come on. That's what I'm saying. But
hair.
but but think about it on a woman. It's sexy now, right? With women with bald head, but it was not like that. Let's go back to the 50 to 6. No, no way. Okay. So they'll struggle a whole lot. I had one person on, I don't know if you know, her name is Pinky Burns. I had Pinky on there. She'll say, "You're not connected to your hair." So she was trying to encourage people like that. Okay, so that's one question. Here's my next one. Okay, normally, it's no such thing as normally, it's the wife and the husband taking care of her.
Hmm.
How did your wife take care of you?
Um, you know, that is kind of a subjective question. I would almost have to have her here to explain that. I can tell you this. She made it her business to be with me during my chemo treatments.
Okay.
So that in and of itself, that's pretty much our support I needed right there.
The
Um,
chemo.
hmm
And how did she take it when you heard it, when you got that? You got the answer when you was out, on a trip, right?
uh,
Did you call her right away or did you wait till you get home? What happened?
but she was actually with me on the trip when we got
Oh, okay.
uh, and she's actually an old pro with this sort of thing because we have a close friend that went through chemo as well as her sister.
Oh,
So this wasn't her first rodeo with this.
okay, okay. So she knew exactly what to do. All right. So, hmm, without her being here, did you find times when she was just down, or was she always upbeat trying to help being what a wife should be. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying? The
yeah.
support system there, was she there? And were
Yes.
you nice to her? Let's go there.
Well, I can tell you there were times when I was an angry black man.
Love it, love it, love. That's why, let's get to the juice of this.
but
You was
but
an
no.
angry black man, and why?
I mean, I got diagnosed with cancer, and I'm just upset that this even happened to me, and really didn't understand why, how, uh, any of that. And there were just answers that I wanted, and there's no really clear cut way to answer those questions on this particular subject. But
Okay.
she handled everything like a champ.
Okay, okay. So I'm glad you're just being, please be transparent like you're being. I was
Right.
angry. I cried. I was upset. I think that's healthy. I think that's a healthy response, and being transparent thoroughly. No, I was
Right.
mad. Okay. All right. I was terribly upset. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So it's like, wow. So you said you spoken on medias in St. Louis, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm from East St. Louis, so I'm right across the
So am
river
I.
there. I'm from East St. Louis.
So am I. I'm from the east.
What? I told you I know some Canadas. I don't know if Jackie Canada and all. I know
So
these people.
I'm not related to those Kennedys though.
I know it's a bunch of y'all. I knew it. I said,
Mm-hmm.
no, it's a bunch. It's a bunch
Yeah.
of them. Okay, then, East Side. Okay.
Yep.
What we say. But the bottom line. So how do you tell men, all right, what do you say now when you come on and you want to encourage men and just people in general about taking care of themselves, their health, of what's going on now? When you said something about a bug bite, did remember you saying that? My person that came on, her name is Pinky Burns, Tawana Pinky Burns. She said the same thing. She thought it was a mosquito bite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then she said it was a spider bite. Okay. So she started diagnosing her own self, right? And it wouldn't go away.
Mm-hmm.
That's how she went, right? So, how do you talk to men who might have a suspicious bump or something? I don't know. What do you tell them?
So it really wasn't difficult for me to get that message out there because people in my circle, most of which were men anyway, when they found out what I was going through and what I was dealing with, they actually came back and had questions.
Oh.
Um, so like randomly, I would run into one of my friends and they'll say, "Hey, I got this lump on the back of my neck." Before we got any further into the conversation,
Mm-hmm.
my response was, "Go get it checked.
That's it.
Go
That's
get
it.
it checked." And that's always been that comes out of my mouth off top.
That's right. Right. That's great, because it takes men to men, man to man to me, okay, to say, go get it checked. Stop playing. They try to tell women to women, take your friend to go get that mammogram. Okay. Take
Right.
your friend, woman to woman. But I'm just imagining now it's different from man to man. Okay. You might tell them, but probably because you went through some things, they're going
Mm-hmm.
to believe you. Okay.
Oh
And
yeah.
they're going to move. But most men will say, whatever. I get there when I get there. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to take care of this and blah, blah, blah. And a lot of them is like, I just don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
So, but you're encouraging them to say, go get it checked out.
Yeah. Well, oddly enough, most men I've talked to, um, their response is, I didn't. It's either I didn't know men could get breast cancer, or I've never heard of men getting breast cancer. And I'm like, yeah, it's possible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I,
It's
I'm
real.
standing I'm standing here before you. I'm telling you right now.
Right, right. You know, yeah, and that's important for people to see somebody who has been through it, right? And it's just not cancer, like you just said about your friend saying, "I got a lump here, I got a lump there." I
Right.
think it's incumbent upon us to be our brothers or our sisters' keeper. If you see something and they come to you and they talk to you or whatever, or if you see some symptoms of like they tired all the time, they this that all of that, I think we should try to help each other and say, "Are you okay? Are
Yeah.
you okay?" You know what I'm saying? Get that
Mm-hmm.
conversation going on about things that you see, and
Mm-hmm.
you really want to say, I ain't trying to be nosy, but okay. And then you just roll into it, to let them know.
Well, I'll roll into it anyway because once you bring it to me, then it's on the table now. So I'm just gonna cut it like a TI is.
Okay, that's it. You better go on and do it. But that's the way you should be.
Yeah.
That's the way that you should be. Because I have never heard of a person that had breast cancer. Never. That's a man. Never. You are the first person that I've ever interviewed, about the breast cancer thing,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, no, this is real. This is real, real. So, had there been a time, and I'm always talking about the mental state, right?
Mm-hmm.
Had there been a time that you thought you were not going to make it?
I won't lie. That always kind of sat in the back of my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't focus on it, but it was just kind of there, like like the bad demon tapping you on the shoulder. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
So it was always there, but all I could do is press forward and keep going. And
Okay.
my attitude was, well, I'm going to go through this process. I'm going to fight. I'm going to do what I need to do, and we'll see what happens.
That's right. So, did your faith, I don't know your faith, I don't know your spiritual, I don't know. How did that play a part?
Well, Marilyn, I'll tell you this. As a kid, I grew up in a Baptist church.
Of course.
Uh, I didn't stay with it, but
I get it.
my faith is never lacked.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Because it's about, you got to have that foundation. Okay. Yeah, we did grow up in church,
Yep.
and that's just the way it was. That's the way the mama, that's what you did. Okay.
Right,
If you didn't stay in there 24/7 or close to it, right?
right,
you was in church, which builds the foundation.
Oh yeah.
Right. And you have to call upon that in order to keep your mind straight.
Yeah.
It's the mind to me that's gonna carry you. If you have your mind on the wrong channel, and I say that all the time, then that's what you're gonna keep on streaming. That's
Right.
what you're gonna keep on. But we learned, that you have to change it and just believe that you're going to be okay. And
Absolutely.
everybody's going to be okay,
Hmm.
right? That's what's important. That's so important. So tell me this before we get off of here. You kind of touched on it a little bit, but if you had an opportunity to talk to people, just people, what would you say to them regarding your journey? Now, I think you said something. I got something you said. Go ahead, and I'm
My
gonna tell you
my
this.
I tell my story every chance I get to tell it, and at the end of telling my journey, I always tell people if you're going through something similar or the same thing, what happened? I just simply tell them keep fighting.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Keep fighting.
Keep fighting, just keep on, but I mean, this has certainly been a wonderful discussion because we touched on some of everything, to say, okay, I'm going to touch this, I'm going to touch that, I'm going to get all of it, okay, to say, because people need to really know that people are real. This is real.
Oh yeah.
And people are real, it don't happen to just anybody. I mean, it doesn't happen to those people over there, okay? It can
Hmm.
happen right there in your home,
Yeah.
you know. And I think it's important that we hear stories of the journey, so people don't find it strange that they're angry, strange that they're crying, strange, you know what I'm saying, that this is what you may or may not, I'm going to say may, you're going to experience. And that's true about anything, that has to do with your health, and you don't understand. It's just about lifing, right? It's life.
Absolutely.
It's just lifing, but I certainly do admire your stand. It's just so peaceful. I think you worked hard to get some peace on this, okay? And
Oh, sure.
is that true? I can tell. I
That's
think
very true.
I can tell you worked hard to get that peace, maintain that peace, and I'm just gonna say it out there. That's the way I think you want to live your life.
Hmm.
Just staying at a even keel, a even
Yeah.
flow, steady, just a steady little river, going down, But I certainly do applaud the fact that you said you just kept fighting. I just
Yep.
kept fighting. Okay. I like the fact that you said, but you had something to hang on to, your legacy.
Mhm.
You got to get that visual in your head. This is the reason why I want to keep going on and pressing on, because like you said, a long time ago, looking at cartoon, it's a little angel over here and a little, what is that? A little devil over here.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, yeah. Which one you going to listen to today?
Right. Right.
so it's important to get that focus, right?
Yep.
So that you can definitely hang on, but I appreciate you being transparent. I really do. I really do. This is a great interview. um Very, very authentic, and I appreciate you so much. So hey, I guess we're gonna wrap this up. Of course, I can keep on talking because I like to talk. Okay, and I like to talk and I like to listen. I love good conversations. But listen, you guys have been listening to Girl, Who Don't You Know? And it's Marilyn Green, the hostess with the mostest. So I gotta say it again. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, set that notification bell. Okay. So until next time, peace out. Okay. And make sure that you be good. Take care. Bye bye.